Stop picking random ass numbers as your financial goals. You ain't going to achieve random numbers. We're going to break down today how to actually value your services, products, and in terms of how to pick an actual goal for your finances, either monthly, annually, and doing it logically as opposed to most people, they just see a number, they go, yeah, that's what I want. If you just pick random numbers and you happen to achieve those random numbers, then my friend, it's random. You can't count on it. Let's do it not randomly, but systematically and strategically. This is a very simple concept. This is going to be a quick video. What we're talking about in terms of a value-based marketing versus you could say, what's on the marketplace currently. When we're taking our services and our products and we're looking at what everyone else around us is charging for them, if we're basing our prices off of that, you're always going to be trying to dock your boat on a moving lighthouse, because depending on what city, state, country you're in, these prices for the same service are going to be changing, and some person charges $1 for it where someone else charges $1 million an hour for it, whatever it might be. We don't want to dock our boat on a moving lighthouse, on something that is unstable. What we do want to do, however, is a value-based model around figuring out how much you want to be making every year. It's just very simple. What you do is you get a little piece of paper and pen. If you want to do this, we have some exercises that walk you through it. Just drop the word value below, and I can send you access to those prompts. What you're doing is on this paper, on this document, I want you to write out all of the things that you want on a regular, monthly, annually basis, okay? Write all the things that you want plus everything that has to get done. So that's everything from your housing to your car to your insurance to your phone to your internet to your make a list. There's 6 categories. I encourage you to have content under each of these, and one being the necessities. That's usually where a bulk of your money would go to. We'll break it in another video how much percentage you want to give to each of these. But you have necessities, then you have play. That's everything from your self-care to recreational to hobbies, things that are fun. Then you have education as a third. Pretty straightforward, educating yourself. Then you have charity. You got to give a little something. What's the use in you making something if you're not helping others with it? And if you're like, well, I don't know a good charitable source, let me know. I'll give you some great. I like to take care of some cows. Anyway, there's a couple I like. You got to have a short-term savings. That's for when things that need to get done every so often, when you need a stack of cash to be able to throw it down, car breaks down, whatever it might be. And then you have long-term savings that you put away and you don't think about it until you have to. Hopefully that's a very long time. So within these 6 categories, make a list of every single thing that you need within that and that you want. And then you can make a list under that of like one-off items, things that you want to get one time, not necessarily reoccurring prices. And then what you do is you get your handy-dandy calculator out and you plug in all those details and say, well, even before you get your calculator, you might want to do a little market research to figure out how much all those things are going to cost. But then you get your calculator out and you figure out, okay, how much would it cost for me to live where I want to live? Be it the rent, be it the mortgage, whatever you prefer. How much would it cost for me to drive the car I want? How much would it cost for me to have the insurance that makes me feel the most safe? How much would it cost for me to eat the groceries that I want? How much would it cost for me to and make a list of the ideal situation for you. And even if you're too scared to go ideal, that's okay. What's like the next layer for you financially? Where you're like, okay, if I could hit blank, oh my God. If I could live in this type of place, maybe it's not that perfect mansion on the beach, but maybe it's that next step for you that you want to go for. Make a list of those and then figure out what would that cost you monthly and annually. And that, my friends, is what we're going to call as your value for now. Figure out what that number is. I might even encourage you to get it right down to the penny if you really want to do that much research. And instead of just picking random numbers, people say, oh, I don't know, I want to make $100,000. I don't know, I want to make $1 million. Where do those numbers go? Why would you be able to channel these resources if you don't know what you're going to do with it? Like, where's the logic? Is like, I'm just going to have money just to sit in my bank to give me a false sense of security? Nah, doesn't work very well. Better is you figure out how much money you need to be making every year, and you make a list. If you might say, how do I figure it out? You make a list. You write it down. I don't know how much this costs. Google it, dude. Use AI. You got it. Come on. It's easy. How much is the average price of a house? 30-year mortgage. How much does it cost to rent in this area? It's simple. You know how to do this. Don't overcomplicate it. Get rough numbers if you need to. Go on the higher side and put all those numbers in. You tally it up and you say, this is how much you need to be making every month or every year. And then, specifically for service-based products or services when you're helping someone as a service, then what you do is you figure out how many people you can help over the span of, say, a month, and you divide the number you need to be making every month by the number of people you can help and give your full heart and your full attention to, and then boom, that's the simplest way to figure out your value. That's it. Now, there's much more we could do to that to make it feel really good and make even more sense. But that's the first step in terms of actually figuring out what a value-based pricing model will be for yourself, as opposed to just trying to guess and what does this person charge? Maybe I should charge that. Oh, but mine's so much higher, but mine's so much lower than this other person's. You're just going to drive yourself bonkers. This one actually makes sense. And if somebody were to say, hey, why is your price like this? Like, even if somebody's so audacious and foolish to say, this is too much, you shouldn't charge this much. By the way, if somebody says that to you, just run the other way, because what a foolish thing to tell someone else. To say that someone is charging more than they should. Like, what a terrible, really crippling, limiting belief. So run away if you ever hear someone say that. But when someone asks for someone to say, where does that number come from? Why is it $2,289? Whatever it might be. You say, hey, listen, I can help this many people. And if I charge this many people this much, this will support this perfect life where I'm not thinking. I don't no longer have to be thinking about things that would take my time and mental energy, and I take all that time and mental energy and put it into serving you. Turn it into serving X amount of people that I can. For a product, it's similar. How many products can I actually produce and how many sales do I need to make, and then you do it. This is a little bit easier for a service-based model. It's a little cleaner, but this is the idea. It's really simple. Go get a piece of paper and a pen. Write out all the things you need to be all the things you'd want to have and need to have in order to fully thrive and not be worrying and thinking about money. Figure out how much that costs you every month, every year. And, even if you have to do rough estimates and tally that up, that, my friend, is the goal, the number goal. And it's also a number you'll be able to get behind, because when you think of that number, you go, oh, that supports me getting this. Oh, I want that number. As opposed to picking arbitrary numbers. I want, 120,000. What does that mean? Start there, make a list, and then you divide that number by the amount of people that you can help, and then bada bing, bada boom. You've got a value-based price.